Hey, this is Tyler with Dieselgeek, and in today's video we're going to be going through the shifter linkage on this brand new 2024 Golf R. We'll be doing the super pin, the stick shaft bushings, as well as the Sigma 6. But before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to Berg Performance in Denver for setting up this loaner vehicle for us so we can show you all the ins and outs here. First things first, we'll need to pull the center console. Good news, it's actually really easy on a Mark 8, significantly easier than on a Mark 5, Mark 6, or Mark 7. Okay, so we're starting at the back of the car here with the seats all the way forward and raised up enough. The reason is that we need to be able to access a fastener and a cover right here. So this cover is just going to pop out and then down, and then there's going to be a 10mm headed bolt in here, and you're going to find the same thing on the other side. For this video, we're just going to breeze through this center console removal. We do have the full length, full detail version linked on the Super Pin product description as well as on our YouTube channel. We're going to go ahead and bring the seats back into the driving position so we can work up front, and then we're going to go and disconnect the battery before we actually unplug anything. Okay, now that we've got our battery disconnected, we can start unplugging these things and not have to worry so much about making this car upset. So we've got 4 connectors, back section out of the way, and we'll go ahead and move up front. All right, so the first things first is I like to get this shift boot lifted. Once you free the clips for the plastic frame for the shifter boot, you kind of just work your hands around here and free the clips and wiggle and lift. Yeah. We'll get that one later. We've got a T20 headed bolt right there, and really everything should be free. Your 12-volt lighter, or your 12-volt outlet, and connections inside of the center console or the storage compartment here are all plugged into the master harness, so you don't actually have to reach in and disconnect any of the connectors under here except for the ones that we've shown. But assuming that everything's free, just go ahead and lift and wiggle, and it'll just slide back about an inch. And then you just kind of continue to lift and wiggle, and you'll guide this shifter boot aperture over the boot here. And it's a little bit heavy, maybe 20 pounds or so. And just carefully slide it out of the car. I just knocked the GoPro off and I'm stuck. Okay, now that we've got the center console out of the way, we'll work on pulling the last couple components that allow us to access the cabin shifter assembly and do that super pin. Yep. Then we grab this super elegant made in France air duct and slide that guy up and out. We'll see our center console wrapped up in its little box. It has 4 10mm nuts on 4 studs that secure it to the floor pan. Basically, this cabin shifter assembly is just sitting on top of the heat shield there. We've got 4 tabs. 2 of them have to compress inward. So I've got the plier on the back side, grabbing the tab, and then we'll pull down on this one and pull down on this one. You kind of want to pay attention to the orientation that it came out so that you can put the super pin in that same orientation, and you can kind of give it a little bit of a wiggle back and forth, and you'll feel it start to engage with the tabs that are inside there. Once you've got it lined up and it's engaged, you can kind of work it in, and we've got a little bit of an interference fit here with this tab, and then you'll come on in from the other side and use the screw and washer. It's just bottoming out on 2 tabs right here, so just put a little bit of tension on it. And then give it a little more of a knock from the other side. A little bit more tension. A little bit more of a knock. Yeah, so once the head of the pin is more or less flush with the box, then you're where you want to be, and just make sure that everything moves without binding. But that's about it for the super pin install. We can go ahead and put our console back together. All right, so we've got our super pin installed and our center console back in. Next step up is going to be the shaft bushings. Really, you can do these at any time. We're just happen to do them right now. First thing first is we need to remove this shifter boot. Rather than cut it off, I like to open this clamp with a hose pick, kind of get it working back and forth a little bit like that. We need to remove this top spring plate here. I like to rotate it over so that I can depress the stock spongy shaft bushing with the pick, because the spring clamp needs to drop down just a hair in order to clear. There we go. All right, and slowly release this so you don't launch it into outer space. Now, important, now that we don't have that spring clamp there stopping us, we want to pick up with the stick gently, because it can become entangled with the shifter cable below. And I even had some customers damage their reverse lockout, so just be real ginger with the stick right now. You can see they're super squishy. We've got our stick down, and we're gonna kind of just pinch this lower bushing here and just lift it out like that. So we'll take our replacement shaft bushing, again, long side goes down, and we'll slide it onto the stick here. Notice I'm lifting so we don't force the stick down. And there's a little, well, we've got this knurl here that we're going to get caught up on. We're also going to get caught up on that ledge. So this is a little bit of a dance, but we're lifting up on the stick, and we're spreading this bushing, and we're sliding this down, and we're going to be nice to the trim panels that are so shiny, cool black on this brand new car. And then that's into its home, and it moves nicely. Spring goes on there, upper shaft bushing drops on, and then we're going to lift up while we push this down all the way, and we're going to sneak this clamp back onto the ledge, just like that. Make sure we've got it all lined up like we want it. Just come in with our earless band clamp plier, PEX plier. Give that a squeeze. You can improvise with some diagonal cutters there. It's just a little bit tricky. And then fold this on back into the console and just let those clips engage. That's about it for the shaft bushings. All right, so moving on to the Sigma 6 install. If you're actually doing an install on your vehicle, we have a fully comprehensive Gen 3 Sigma 6 install video that we linked in the product description. It's a lot easier to follow, there's more detail, and there's not a car in the way. But let's get this air box out of here so we can get this thing in. Pretty easy. All right, so quick comparison here, just because we've got them both side by side. Stock shifter, big counterweight, feels kind of vague. Bunch of isolation with this front to back cable end, plastic, side to side, good bit of isolation and excessive slop, loose tolerance pin, wimpy slider, as opposed to aluminum bell crank with awesome bushings, big fat slider, really nice tolerances, tuned weight on the front to back, aluminum cable end, spherical bearing, and side to side we've got our inserts that are totally void free. is a tight clip. All right. Go inside and pin the stick in the home position. So it's funny with this Mark 8, this sound boot on all the Mark 7s was pre-torn from the factory. They must be aligning these before they stuff the cabin shifter and cables into the car. Got that opened up. We'll pass our pin in. Helps to start at an angle here because there's a step. Some of these plastic assemblies can be a little bit tight. There we go. What we're aiming for is this little plus-shaped pocket in the ball socket there. And again, car in the way, so just bear with me and I'll get this lined up. There we go. Drop down all the way. Got that stick locked in there. Feels pretty solid, especially so thanks to our super pin. So now we'll go back out in the engine compartment and align the shifter. Okay, so we're going to locate the L-shaped lever down there on the selector shaft. I'll try to keep my hands out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to push this down into the 1-2 gate, which is about 6 millimeters, while we simultaneously find the hole inside the selector shaft with the L-shaped locking pin. When it's lined up right, it'll drop in and it'll rotate up slightly. And at that point, the selector shaft really isn't going to move up and down very much. I like to push down lightly on the selector shaft with one hand while I reach in here with the other and kind of just give this cable end a wiggle. And then when I'm satisfied that there isn't a bunch of preload or tension on that cable, I just go and flick it like that. And if we did a good job and our shifter's pinned, this L-shaped locking pin should be able to drop right back in, just in and out like that. And that means that at this point the stick is holding the selector shaft down in the 1-2 gate with the cables alone. It's not, we don't require any extra force there. So yeah, it should be a nice side-to-side adjustment. Now all we have to do is snug those 4 Allen screws, and that'll complete our front to back. Don't have to go nuts on these, they just snug down, and as Jim likes to say, they'll let you know when they're tight. Alright, make sure our L-shaped locking pin is retracted so we don't inadvertently shear that off when we go to try to see if we've got our gears. All there, feels great. All right, so airbox back in. Pretty straightforward, but basically we just want to get this duct and seal nice and square with this duct here. And so we're gonna scoop it and then wiggle it into place and then drop it down on the 3 grommets on the 3 posts that are there on the battery tray. And then we'll reconnect our intake hose and our vacuum hose. Let's go for a test drive.